Hey everybody, welcome back to Empower Melbourne Shovel. My name is Gribbs, and this is Series 6. I'm kicking this series off starting with a dynamic stretch video, something that I like to do before weightlifting or especially shuffling. It's important to stretch to get the muscles warmed up and lubricated before you do any kind of physical activity. I'll be explaining more as we go. Let's begin. First, I like to start out with a few breaths, like so. Kind of preparing the body. And I like to start from the head down, and you'll see as we go here. So first, I like to do some head or neck rolls. Just kind of relax the shoulders, let the arms hang. And you can start out going to your right a couple times, and then you're going to switch and go the other way. Just really relax your shoulders and your neck, left and right, all around, like that, like so. Next, I like to do some hip twists, hip and arm twists. This stretches the back muscles as well as your lats. I usually do about 10 each of these dynamic stretches for each side if it requires, but you can do whatever feels best to you. These next one is kind of like a bear hug, or I call it like a bear hug stretch. I do one arm over the other, then I switch to the other arm over the other side. It really feels good. It's like a quick stretch and release. These dynamic stretches will greatly benefit and aid you before going into like a shuffle session or dance or any kind of physical activity, and especially weightlifting too. We will be going over static stretching, and that is something that I do after a workout or after a shuffle session. Now, the difference between the two, dynamic stretching is more movement based, where static stretch is like you're holding the stretch for a period of time, and you'll see as we go on. Next is 10 arm circles to the front, and then we're going to reverse it. 10 arm circles to the back. Next, do 5 to 10 arm circles, big arm circles forward. And then switch, go 5 large arm circles to the back, or reverse. Okay. Next, we're going to get a little bit more physical. We're going to do some jumping jacks. We're going to do 30 of them. See if you can follow along, or do half the amount, or whatever works for you. Again, we're getting the body warmed up. Now, you don't have to do all of these for, say a shuffle sesh, but I'm combining a lot of these that I do for working out and for shuffling. These ones I definitely use for shuffling, because it's going to stretch the hamstrings out, which is underneath your leg. Try and keep the legs straight if you can, but if you have a little bend, it's okay. Work on touching your toes, or a toe to your hand. Eventually you won't even need your hand, and you'll be able to just kick up in the air. Here's a different angle for you. If you have trouble balancing, try and hold one arm out, and when the foot comes down, put it either beside your foot or maybe just behind your foot, and this will help you get balance, but only pause for a brief second and then go back up. Do 10 each side if you can. This is another good one. It's kind of like you're not kicking back, but you're keeping a slight bend. And you're going to kind of jaunt it back and maybe up a little bit. You'll feel a stretch in your quad on this one. Now you can straighten the leg too, as you see here, if you do it correctly, and you'll feel even more of a stretch. Do 10 or so each side, and then you're going to want to switch. So again, you can keep your leg bent, and then and you can even kind of jaunt it up forwards or backwards, I mean. Next, we're going to do some knee hugging stretches, as you see here, and knee releases. Just bring them up to your stomach or your chest, and then let go. Do 10 each side, or you can do like 20 total for an alternating of 10 each. Okay, shake it off. Next, we're going to do some butt kickers. These are great for like if you're getting into like leg day or you're doing squats, anything that requires, a lot of lifting with like the legs, just getting the quads and the hamstrings warmed up. It's going to help a lot. So try and do 10 each side, or just do 10 total or 20 total, 10 each. Okay, shake it off again. Next, we're going to do some kind of lunge to the side stretches. Do one side at a time for these, because you want to keep that stretch. As you see my left side, you want to keep that leg in that kind of lunge position while you stretch. See if you can reach straight up to make a line, how you see I'm doing, and look up as well. Try and do 10 of these, 5 to 10 of these each side if you can. Switch to the other side, get into that lunge position, and reach down, and reach up with the other hand up to the ceiling. Should be starting to feel pretty warm at this point, and that is the whole point of this. They say that improper stretching, or if you don't stretch at all, can lead to injury before you dance or lift or any physical activity. Next, we're going to do some walking lunges. Try and do 10 each side. You can just stay in position if you want with these, like so. Do 10 each side. It doesn't matter if your knee goes over your toe. Your knee can go over your toe. That's kind of a myth, what people say. So you can keep it at 90-degree angle, or you can go over the toe, as long as you get that stretch in. Be careful when you do these stretches. Always proceed with caution and take it slowly at first, and you'll be able to feel out the pain tolerance in terms of what the body can handle with whatever stretch you're trying to perform. So always go slow, and as you get better at some of these stretches, you'll be able to figure out again your comfortability with how far you want to stretch. Kind of shake it out again. You should start to feel your quads by now. Next, we're going to get low. These are kind of like duck walks. These are going to help get your quads warmed up. Now there's like 3 levels. That's the first level. This is the second level. You can go backwards as well. And then you can drop down even more, and you really work in a lot, like almost the whole body at this point, the whole lower body. But this is going to open up your hips, your hip flexors, your quads, your hamstrings are getting a little bit of a workout here. So I just walk back and forth 2 or 3 times, and that gets my hips opened up really nice. You can give it a good turn. The more you give it like a good pivot, you'll feel it more open up. Kind of shake it off. These are some of the last things that I like to do. They're like opening up your hip flexors and your legs. I usually do 3 to the left, and then I rotate and go the other way. Be careful with these, because you can kind of sometimes you might feel your hips or like your bones kind of rubbing together, or maybe even cracking a little bit. That's normal with the cartilage. You don't do these a lot, so that's kind of expected. But just proceed with caution, like anything. I usually do 3 one way and then 3 the other way again for both sides. You don't really need too many of these. And that really gets my hip flexors, my hips, my waist, everything open and feeling really nice and loose. Lastly, mainly if you're working out, I like to do some 10-20 quick push-ups, just standard push-ups before I start lifting. You can do these if you'd like. One thing I'd like to say too is with your head, usually you don't have to look forward. It's actually a little safer and healthier for your neck if you look down. So I just wanted to add that in there. And that's pretty much it. So then, you can start to get into your actual shuffle routine. And I usually just like to do some T-steps going left and right. I'll do some normal T-steps as you see here. And then I'll do reverse T-steps as well, as you see. And then I'll try to combine both, going left and right. And I'll usually do this, pick a number, doesn't matter. When you're feeling warmed up, you'll know. But this warms up the entire body, the entire lower body especially, doing this entire dynamic stretch. So yeah, thanks for watching this dynamic stretch video, and appreciate you guys. Here's one more for you. You can kind of step in different directions. This is, just warming up your T-steps and getting into the dance. Again, you're just pivoting. If you haven't watched the T-step video yet, you can check that out in the other playlist and series 1. Some mobility here, some dynamic mobility. Now, by the time you're done with this, you should definitely be feeling warmed up at this point and ready to go. Thanks again for watching, guys. Hope this helps. Take care.